Welcome to Humans TV Africa. This is Humans TV Africa, and you are live here at Humans TV Africa. My name is Kato Mukasa, a Ghana lawyer interested in issues of human rights. And today in the studio is my colleague Dennis Bongole, right in Uganda. And we shall be able to take you through yet another beautiful segment on Human Rights Watch. Now, before we do anything, we want to encourage you to please subscribe to our television station. The name is Humans TV Africa. Search for Humans TV Africa. Our Facebook name, our YouTube name is Humans TV Africa. But also, you can send us an email. You can send us an email at info. The email is info@humanstvafrica.com, and our WhatsApp number is right there. Our communication officer will be able to respond to you if you want to join us in any way. I want to say that we are a registered non-government organization. Humans TV Africa is registered as a non-government organization currently with offices, with studios in Uganda, studios in Kenya, studios in Zambia, Zimbabwe. We have studios in Nigeria, Ghana, Sierra Leone, UK, and the US, and we are still growing, taking message to the people beyond boundaries. We are an international organization, and we are interested in promoting human rights, equity, accountability, and of course shaping critical thinking and shaping the narrative, especially about Africa. Today, in this show, we are talking about human rights. We are talking about human rights, and the show is Human Rights Watch, Equality Before the Law, and this is episode 1. Equality Before the Law, and this is episode 1. Now, as a lawyer, I should say that I've seen lots of discrimination, especially in Africa, because I've been able to work in different countries in Africa. I've seen women being discriminated because they are women. Sometimes women have been kept at home. And I've seen people being abused by the courts of law, or in the courts of law, justice being denied to them. So there is no equality before the law. I've seen politicians sometimes being favored, but also I've seen opposition politicians in Africa being tortured through the courts of law. And then there's no equality before the law. Yet the law is clear. All of us are equal before the law. But sometimes in much of Africa, there is no equality before the law. Now, let us look at what I've prepared to emphasize this very point. Now, when you look at equality before the law, and we look at Article 15 of CEDAW, Article 15 of CEDAW, it requires that women and men are to be treated equally before the law. This has never been more important than it is today. For this reason, this is one of the key articles of CEDAW Convention. Now, the Equal Status Act of 2000 was recently amended by the Equality Act 2004. Together, they are known as the Equal Status Act 2000 to 2004. Their main aim is to promote equality by forbidding discrimination in employment, vocational training, advertising, collective agreements, and the provision of goods and services. Then we have the mother of all the laws, the Universal Declaration for Human Rights. You cannot say, I'm Kenyan, I'm Ethiopian, I'm Sudanese, I'm Ugandan, I'm Rwandese, I'm South African, so the law doesn't concern me. Today, I'm talking about international law, which binds all of us under the sun. Whether you're in America, whether you're in Canada, whether in the UK, whether in Japan, whether in China or Russia, international law binds you today. I'm talking about international law. Now, the Universal Declaration for Human Rights, UDHR, Article 6 of the same says that everyone has the right to recognition everywhere as a person before the law. I have a right to be recognized as a person. You have that right. Everyone has the right to recognition everywhere as a person. Look at that statement, as a person. Sometimes people think we are animals. Sometimes people think we are sheep. We are not animals. We are not reptiles. We are people. Article 6 of the Universal Declaration for Human Rights states that everyone has the right to recognition everywhere as a person before the law. Now, regardless of whether they are citizens or immigrants, it doesn't matter whether I was born in this country or outside it. I'm a person and I have rights to be recognized as a person, whether I'm an immigrant or a citizen, a student or a tourist, workers or refugees, or any other group, gay or heterosexual, albino or non-albino, child or adult, women or men, all of us have a right to recognition as individuals. Let us look at the different other laws there are too. The Equality Act, I'm saying that I'm quoting international law. I'm quoting international law, not Ugandan law, not Kenyan law. I'm quoting international law, which binds all of us. Now, the Equality Act of 2010, which of course most countries have, Article 7 of the Equality Act of 2010 states, 1, a person has the protected characteristics of gender reassignment if the person is proposing to undergo, is undergoing, or has undergone a process or part of the process for the purpose of reassigning the person's sex by changing physiological or other attributes of sex. Yes, the law is clear international that actually you can change your sex. It's freedom. We are in a free world. Someone today may seem to be a man, but they are a woman. Someone is a woman and you think he's a man, he's a woman. And me as a lawyer, I'll tell you, I'll go and defend that person because it is her right. Transgender people have a right to be. Homosexuals have a right to be. Equality Act 2010, Article 7.1. Now, Equality Act Article 9 protects your right to freedom of thought. I'm an atheist. I'm a humanist. You are religious. So, Article 9 of Equality Act protects my freedom of thought, belief, and religion. It includes the right to change your religion or belief at any time. You also have the right to put your thoughts and beliefs into action. Now, listen to that. I have a right to change my religion at any time. I am a Muslim today. Tomorrow I will tell you I'm a Christian. Don't question me. International law gives me a right to change my religion. It also gives me a right to abandon my religion. It also gives me a right to actually become an atheist or apostate. Now, Arabic countries that kill people because of change of religion are violating Article 9 of the Equality Act. Let us look at other relevant laws. There are two. Now, here it is. We are talking about homosexuals, of course, and they've been having their Pride Month every year. So we said Pride because, yes, they deserve to be happy, they deserve to be what they are. At Human TV Africa, we don't condemn anyone, we don't judge anyone. Pride, marriage is about love, yes, not gender. Marriage is about love, not gender, yes. We don't condemn anyone because of your sexual orientation. Whether you are gay, homosexual, religious or not, we shall welcome you. We shall work with you. We don't condemn anyone. Remember what Jean-Paul Sartre said, every word has consequence, every silence too. If you're quiet amid this abuse of laws, amid this abuse of rights of others, because you are not them, they are abusing albinos, you keep quiet, They're abusing gay, you keep quiet. They're abusing politicians, you keep quiet. They're killing opposition politicians, you keep quiet. One day, your time will come. Jean-Paul Sartre warned us that every word has consequences. Even silence too has consequences. Let us look at now. Maximilian Robespierre, if you remember the French Revolution, one of the guys behind the French Revolution was Maximilian Robespierre. One day he said, the secret of freedom lies in educating people, whereas the secret of tyranny is in keeping them ignorant. I'll repeat Robespierre's word. Remember the French Revolution? This is the guy. He said, the secret of freedom lies in educating people, whereas the secret of tyranny is in keeping them ignorant. That was Robespierre so many years ago, before the start of the French Revolution. Now it came from the closet, of course, queer and others. I came from the closet. People should come out. I'm an atheist. I came out in my country and said, yes, I don't believe in God. So what? Someone is gay. Let them be. Someone is in transgender. Let them be. It's time to come out. Why do you stop them from being who they are? Look at the law. Justice for all, as we say in Uganda. Some of the justices, justice for all. Yeah, justice for all. It should have a meaning. Think before corruption. Justice for all. Think before you deny other people their rights. Yes. Now, that is it. So far, we have had this kind of thing. Now, people should be free to be who they are. They should be free to actually wear they want, because the colors they want. People should be free. People should be free. We are talking about freedom, basic freedoms. Why should you tell someone what to put on? Let them wear the colors they want. Let them not be back into slavery. Look at a child under chains and crying. This is what you want to put our people back into, People to be free, yet they are not free. This is what we against as Humanist TV Africa. We say people should be free because they deserve to be free. Now, let us look at this video. One of my transgender friend, Makeba, they are transited from a man to woman, and I'm okay. She was my student, came out and said, I'm transgender. Who am I to judge her? Who am I to tell her how to live her life? Who am I to tell her you are not what you were? If she tells me she feels it this way, I have to respect it.
Episode where we are going to talk about homosexuality and Africa. My name is Kato Mukasa, the advocate for human rights, including the rights of gay people. And then the person is going to be explaining a few things on this topic. Homosexuality is not something new in Africa. As some people have alleged, it has been said that homosexuals are a product of the West, which is totally false. Homosexuality simply means a sex orientation, an attraction people have for the people of the very same sex as theirs. A homosexual can be a man loving a man, or a woman loving a woman. And naturally, science has shown that homosexuals are biologically wired to be so. Homosexuality doesn't stop among human beings. In fact, even among animals and other species, there are traits of homosexuality. So this is a scientifically proven issue. Tonight, we shall talk about Africa, where homosexuality is criminalized. And generally in the world, any acts of homosexuality are met by death and heavy punishments, including imprisonment for several years. In Uganda, it must be remembered that it's the British who introduced laws that basically criminalized homosexuality. In 1861, Lord Macaulay drafted and introduced the Indian Penal Code, which actually officially criminalized homosexuality and made it an offense where it was called unnatural offenses. In 1817, the death penalty was introduced. And in 1861, Uganda, Kenya, Malawi, and many other colonies of Britain basically put homosexuality in their statute as something criminal. In Uganda today, we can say that the Penal Code, as amended, Act 2000, criminalizes lesbianism as well as male homosexuality. The Penal Code Act of 1950, as amended, provides that under Section 145, that any person who has canon knowledge of any person against the order of nature, has canon knowledge of an animal, or permits a male person to have canon knowledge of him or her against the order of nature, commits an offense, and that person is liable to imprisonment for life. Section 148 provides the same, that whether someone is in private or public and commits any act of homosexuality, that person is going to be imprisoned for life. That is homosexuality in Uganda. I wrote a book titled Unlearning the Myths About Homosexuality, Tackling Stereotypes and Busting Myths, The Bitter Pill. This book became sensational as it came at a time when Uganda was grappling with the law that we called Kill the Gay Bill, which later on became an act. This act was so bad because teachers, lawyers like myself, priests, parents, and everyone who knew that people were having homosexual acts would be arrested just because they failed to report homosexuals. The country became homophobic, especially on the coming of American pastors, and brought this kind of hate and influenced the president of Uganda, they influenced the first lady of Uganda, and they influenced churches, so that it became an offense for even a teacher or a lawyer to provide a service to a homosexual. A case of 2010, where homosexuals were taking a tabloid to court because it was promoting homophobia. We see other cases like Republic versus Steve Monjeza and Tuonji Chibalanga, where again, people in Malawi were being victimized for being homosexuals. The 1995 Constitution of Uganda gives us rights, us as lawyers, us as advocates, us as people who would like everyone to have their rights. David Bahati tabled a bill in Parliament on October 14th, 2009, and that bill came to be known as the Anti-Homosexuality Bill, which we called the Kill the Gay Bill. It was not until 2 years later, lawyers went to court and we petitioned the court to end this law, and finally the law was quashed. However, many homosexuals in Uganda are not free. Many have gone into exile as I speak. Many are into Kakuma camp in Kenya, and many have been brutally killed and some murdered. It's this clarion call I make tonight that as Ugandans, as Africans, we must own up. We must know that homosexuals are human beings like us. They are our brothers and sisters. They are our friends. They are workmates. We need to respect their choices. Sex is sex. Love is love. Why should someone be criminalized for loving differently? When you love differently, it's not a crime.
Yes, that is me right there in a brief documentary talking about the rights of gay people in Africa. And I've been at it for several years to, of course, educate people that people are gay and some people are straight. If I'm straight, others can be gay. So as a lawyer, it has been my responsibility all over the world to educate people about rights. Human rights are human rights, and we don't choose answers and say, this is a right, this is not a right, this is a right. No, human rights remain human rights. Now, we have only one left segment of this show where I'll be showing you the situation of a people in Zambia. The homosexual people in Zambia, how they are being treated, and of course, the environment in which they stay. It is pathetic. Let us look at this video, if possible.
Okay. How are we going to survive in this situation? See? Oh God. Oh God. Oh Jesus. Oh, these people are not really fair. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
This is the situation of people who ran away from Uganda, people who are gay people, homosexuals, who went to Zambia to seek asylum, and they have been treated so badly. Remember, Uganda just passed a law against gay people in May 2023, and hundreds of Ugandans are running away because the law basically affects them. Now, these Ugandans are in Zambia as I speak, and the conditions are deplorable. They stay in the most worst camps provided by the UNHCR, camps without electricity, camps without camps without water, camps with trenches, dirty trenches just passing through where they sleep, camps without mosquito net, because with so much mosquitoes. These are Ugandans who fled Uganda. If you're Ugandan and you think there are no gay people in Uganda, you are mistaken. Why should a Ugandan run away from Uganda to go to a poor country, poor in terms of management, such as Zambia, to end up sleeping like a pauper? Yet, even in Zambia, they are being treated so badly. Now, this is to show you the extent of hate. The extent of hate that our people go through because they are homosexuals. No one listens to them. They even go to countries such as Zambia, where the president is homophobic, where the majority politicians are homophobic, even the population itself is homophobic. Now they run from fire and they fell in a pan of oil, cooking pan full of oil. Now, Zambia is not different from Uganda, but they are seeking refugee in Zambia. Now, that's the biggest dilemma Ugandans are facing. Now, if you're Ugandan and you always think, oh, it's okay to have all these laws to kill our brothers and sisters, I'm telling you, once your relative is affected, is the day we understand that such laws are actually bad. That they are forcing our people to go into camps, the worst camps such as Kakuma in Kenya. Kakuma in Kenya, we have people we are supporting with food. Azman's TV Africa, people in Kakuma, people are supporting with food. Azman's TV Africa in Zambia. They are under UNHCR, but they don't even have food. They have no food, they have no electricity, they have no running water, they have no proper medication. Now, these are people being tortured for being gay. And no one listens to them. They have no lawyer to defend them. They are in a very homophobic country, and they have no hope of even leaving this country. They ran away from Uganda's Museveni and his homophobic country, homophobic government that is passing laws against homosexuals, criminalizing them. They went to Kenya, it's worse there. They went to Zambia, it is worse there. They went to Rwanda, it's worse there. They have gone to all these countries, but there's no relief so far. So now these are hard things. I know her.
Gentleman is transgender.
She's a female. There are no two. It is either male or female. Let me first tell you, sodomy is about confusion. Now, I want to bring you to speed. This person is confused, and she's exporting her confusion. She's a woman, but she's thinking, excuse me, Phil, I've given you a chance. You see, a banana is different from a cucumber. A carrot is different from a banana. I want you to understand. You cannot equate. No, these are not equal. So for you to say we are advocating for everyone's right. When you are a sodomite, you are committing a crime. And a crime that makes you social, excuse me.
They have a right.
No. You have a social obligation. This is a truth. You have a social obligation when you commit a crime. If you knock someone, you commit a crime. So for you to come and say, we want to advocate for anyone's right, criminals and innocent people, they are not the same. Men and women are not the same.
Now, Pastor, so have you been affected by what they do?
Of course.
How?
I am at Makerere. These people have begun several organizations. First of all, the Americans and the Europeans are putting a lot of money in the Faculty of Law to train people like this one in how to come and speak. Now she's going to go back and ask for money. Again, I follow you ardently on your Facebook. I follow you ardently.
Thank you.
So I'm not uninformed. This one is part of sexual minorities, Uganda. Part of their groups, when they get pregnant, they chase them away. I've been counseling about 5 girls who, because when the lesbians get pregnant, they chase, then they come and tell me what is going on. Their life is full of misery. Pate, pate, pate after pate. She can never have children.
You love what you do, don't you?
I absolutely love my work, yes.
Of course, she
And
will.
you're protected by the Constitution.
Yes, I am protected by the Constitution.
Where's the constitutional provision that promotes homosexuality in this country?
I told you it's not homosexuality.
What is
I
it?
do human rights.
Olaba,
Protect life.
Olaba. You ask
And
Sodome,
life
she said
is-
human rights. We said Sodome, she said gay. We ask Ebisiyaga, she says sexual minorities. Confusion of the highest order. So what they do is they cover Bapa Kirechi. The baptismal name for that word is Sodome. But they are giving themselves a new name. Sexual minorities.
You know,
Pastor,
Sempa,
human
Sempa,
rights.
you
By virtue of your
confuse
calling,
Sodom.
by
You
virtue of your calling,
confuse
you're a
sexual.
pastor.
Yes.
You're meant to heal these people,
Yes.
not to confront them, aren't you?
No, Bible says open rebuke is better than secret love. This girl needs to be told she's a
This
girl.
man,
No, this young girl needs to be told she's a woman, not a man. The longer you continue on addressing her as sa, nawe otandika okulimbibwa ono mwana muwala era singa manyi n'ab'ekika kye. What tribe are you, by the way? Olaba tamanyi na ggwanga lye. What clan are you? Tachimanyi asirise. Do you have fathers and grandfathers?
Of course it does.
Tachimanyi tagana kiddamu kimuswaza. What is your tribal name?
What's
Laba,
No,
sokoleke.
Pastor,
Mu baddugavu, mu
Pastor, I'm
baddugavu.
hosting the show.
Yes, in the
Right there, I wanted you to watch that segment to show you how homophobic Uganda is. It was purposely put here to show you how homophobic Uganda is. You can make your conclusions. Well, I've been telling you that Uganda is not a place for tolerance. When you get pastors like Pastor Sempa who come and openly condemn people, openly rubbish them, and openly call them criminals. Why should you be a criminal because you are gay? Why should your sex orientation make you a criminal? What have you stolen? Who have you hurt? Who have you killed? What crime does a gay person do apart from being gay? So when we say these things, of course, they say we are compromised. But honestly, logic dictates that if someone is gay, he's not a criminal. But he is a pastor, a very hopeless twat of a pastor, very useless pastor, bad mouthing every time, politicking every time, doesn't even give this young person a chance to be heard. I've worked with this person right there in the studio. I've worked with this person there. I've worked with the organization. I know who they are. I know what they do. I know that Sun Umbrella to protect themselves from danger. Because what do you do if you live in a country like Uganda, where almost everyone powerful wants to bash you, wants to kill you? You organize, you speak up. So this is why we are here at Must TV Africa, to defend the rights of the minorities, to tell you what people don't want to tell you. We are balanced. That's why we give you all the sides of the story. We are balanced. That's why we were able to give you that segment to hear what other people say about the same subject. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, our Facebook channel. Our TV is Must TV Africa. And remember, send us an email. Our email is info@musttvafrica.com. And our WhatsApp number is right there. Our communication officer will be able to respond to you today. I've been working with Dennis Bongo in Uganda. And of course, I want to say, keep it up and keep it Must TV Africa. See you in the next one.